You made it. You made it. Alright, folks. I wanted to make a new tier list for you guys because Year 4, Season 4 has been out for quite some time. And of course, you all know the new hero Gryffindor has dropped, and this son of a gun here has been causing trouble for everyone. And let's just get down and dirty. And keep in mind, this is going to be a solo carry slash Dominion tier list. And what I mean by that is usually you'll be playing by yourself, and this can vary between your teammates being good, bad, and just downright terrible. So the S tiers are going to be heroes that pretty much require the least amount of effort to play. Not saying that they don't have a high skill curve to make great plays with, but these are the heroes that you will most likely succeed with. While the other heroes on the lower tiers, yes, you can get out some clutch moments, but overall they aren't contributing much to the team fights and for your solo plays. And with that out of the way, let's just get down and dirty to pay to win Mr. Gryffindor. We're gonna put this guy now. This guy has released this year, and he has been causing mayhem to every single player in For Honor, and I think he's gonna be S tier for sure. Reason number one, he has neutral openers. His bash is very fast, animation is very sloppy, so that makes it harder to react to. His chain mix-up, which evolves around his kick into indulgible light, into letting the heavy fly, into a heavy, into GB, into heavy, into bash. As you can see, he's got so many freaking options for you to deal with, and so For Honor has basically become a read-based game. And this hero right here, he is the definition of a read-based mix-up. And so when you're fighting him, you're gonna have to make tons of reads to beat him. If you're using a bad hero like Shinobi, you're most likely going to die. And so that's why I'll put Gryffindor in S tier, because he can clear minions very easily, wide-ranging heavy attacks, undodgeable lights, decent option select, and he has hyper armor on his follow-up lights and heavies when he goes for a parry. And so he's pretty much guaranteed damage no matter what. Great for team fights, great for setting up plays. Impaling attack also set up a really nice gank, which is pretty freaking awesome. You know, it's really nice animations, but overall this hero, everyone hates him. He has a lot of hit stun mechanics as well, because his kick guarantees a 28 damage heavy, which is the highest amount of damage from a bash in the game right now, especially when it comes to like neutral bashes that come out really fast. I believe it is 400 ms, which is it's pretty much read based. So this hero causing mayhem to everyone. I think everyone knows that this hero needs some kind of tweaks to make him less oppressive, lower the damage by somewhat. And also, let's not forget his feats. My goodness, oh my gosh, his feats are just healing everybody. He's healing so much HP every single team fight. It's ridiculous. And he has good damage overall, you know, good damage, good healing feats. He's a real paladin. You know, I really want him on my team if I want to win. A grenade bomb that heals players as well. He's got everything going for him. This hero really doesn't have any downsides, and if you want to win, well, Ubisoft made probably one of the best heroes for 4v4. But I mean, you guys have to let me know what kind of nerfs and what kind of adjustments this hero needs, because I think a lot of people have been crying out about it. Hopefully you guys have gone on public into the real world and put out signs that Gryphon needs somewhat of a nerf. Oh, what's this? Warmonger. Warmonger. I'm gonna put her S tier, obviously. I think everyone knows what Warmonger is. Her freaking virus attack. That's just, it's insane. You know, it's OP. They nerfed it last patch a while ago, but realistically, you know, it's still way too overpowered in my opinion when there's no other hero to combat it. The only other hero that kind of combats it is Gryphon, because he heals people in an AoE radius. But realistically, Warmonger, she's uncontestable. She is used everywhere. No matter where you are, she's going to have value. Undodgeable forward heavy, really nice. She has frame advantage on pretty much all of her attacks. She has 3 chain bashes that has decent animations. It's pretty strong in my opinion. It's just like Warden. Good zone attack, option selects, heavy hyper armor attacks. The only thing she lacks is like a chain heavy unblockable, but she does have that on her dodge attacks. Her heavies, external, oh my gosh, they go so far. They have like 10 feet long ranges. It's ridiculous, but it's good for her though, honestly. She's really good. One of the best heroes to pick if you really want to like and buy her. She's worth it in my opinion. Fashion is amazing, 10 out of 10. And she's, you know, mommy, step mommy. Moving on to the next OP knight hero, Conqueror. Conqueror, I think, you know, he's probably one of the most annoying heroes to fight in Dominion and duels, of course. But in Dominion, you know, he could be S tier, but I think I'm gonna put an A tier just because his damage is solid. His openers is just shield bashing. His unblockable is not used as much. It's mostly used for like some sort of external pressure in like a ganking situation. Conqueror is just a very slow fighter. He's one of the best mid laners in the game. Just hurdle up, turtle up, and just do your thing and zone away and wait for your mating call with another Conqueror. You guys could zone for days, you know, just zone and scissor it out. Anyways, Conqueror, you know, just light spam, shield bash, zone attack, option select, 10 different option selects. That's Conqueror, man. His feats are solid for mid lane. They're not really great for team fighting, but it's just really good for survivability. He's always been a solid pick overall. I wish he'd get some changes. Wish he'd get a rework of some sort to make him less, I don't know, shield bashy and relying on just that. His full block is really good too. It's like one of the best full blocks in the game. And overall, you know, he's just a solid pick for a Night Hero if you want to contest mid lane all game and hold a point forever, you know, because he's one of the best stallers. But unfortunately, his fashion is kind of ass. He only has a few good armor plates, and even then, he doesn't have full plate armor, which is kind of silly. Oh my gosh, another Night Hero. I am not surprised. Okay, Warden for Dominion. Warden for Dominion, you know, I think I'm gonna put him in B tier. I'm not gonna put him in A tier. He still has his variable time bashes, which is insanely good. Back dodge, shield bash. I mean, one of the best moves in the game. Actually, it's probably the best move in the game right now. He doesn't really contribute much when it comes to his feet and his heavy and light attack pressure. The only thing you can really do is set him up for shield bash damage to land his top heavy, and then hopefully his unblockable top heavy will land. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that much range when it comes to like an external range, so you can only do it one way, and if a hero dodges, you're not going to get anybody. And so overall, he feeds a lot of revenge, but he can really hold his own when it comes to like a 1v1 situation. But when it comes to 1v2, that's where he's going to suffer. And I think Warden, I'm going to put him on B tier because he's a little bit harder to use when it comes to 1v2. And I mean, with Stalwart Banner and Second Wind being nerfed so much, I feel like he kind of goes on C tier, but I suppose since he's still a Night Hero and he still has viable offense to an extent, even though he's a very slow hero killer, but his damage is reliable, I want to put him on B tier just because he can do so well, especially in a ganking situation, because all you have to do is charge that shoulder bash, and then your teammate can pretty much guarantee get guard breaks and reliable heavy damage onto him, and after that, you're pretty much going to take 2 or 3 heavies to the face. And so with Warden, I'm still going to put him on B tier, but with the new rework that he's going to be getting, he's going to shoot up to A tier for sure. But for right now, I would put him in like a B to C tier for sure. More towards C tier, but I'm gonna put him on B tier just because he's still a strong Night pick hero. Well, Miss Toe Picker. Alright, Miss Toe Picker, anyone who likes feed is weird. Just kidding, not really. Okay, Knight. Gladiator, you know, Gladiator, pretty strong pick still, you know, really strong pick, and I believe she's still going to be a B tier hero just because in solo queue, she has reliable offensive abilities and defensive abilities with Sucker Punch and Toe Stab, OS Pressure. She has unblockables, and that's what makes her very strong. Insane out of stamina damage when it comes to landing all of her finishers. She's got tons of reliability and versatility. Her Sucker Punch combined with Haymaker just makes her a really strong pick for reliable damage and chipping an opponent down. She's good for team fights, and she's pretty decent for anti-ganking now too, especially with her lights being much faster and so many chains. Good, actually it's very good heavy tracking, especially her side ones. They go very far. Like I said, her feats are really good. Bounty Hunter, they did nerf Bounty Hunter, but Bounty Hunter is still a good feat to run. Haymaker, one of the best feats in the game. And she does have that Pugio throwing rope thing, which is really strong because you can land either a heavy attack, or if you have the spacing perfectly, you can do a light into a skewer and land so much damage. And after that, you can also throw her into a wall. She's just got tons of versatility. Although the only thing that sucks about Gladiator is that she does have Reflex Guard. And if you don't know how to handle Reflex Guard, then I would probably put her down in C tier. But for people that know how to utilize her and block consistently, she's going to be a B tier because of all the reliable openers that she has. The best option selection in the game, I believe. But I think I'm going to keep her in B tier because she's a very strong pick overall, good for team fights, and decent for anti-ganking situations as well. And come on, who wouldn't want to get their toes stabbed by Glad? Oh, here we go again. All right, BP. I'm going to put BP. I'm going to put her in S tier. BP is in a solo queue matchmaking setting where if your teammates are crap or if your teammates are good, this hero is going to carry no matter what. Whenever BP is around, it's going to take you years, days on days and days next to the radiator. She's going to be graping you. You know, it's just, you can't get away from her. She's one of the best heroes, best survivability in the game, better than Conqueror. Flip is ridiculous. You got crushing counters. She can external you with crushing counters all the time. She has the neutral unblockable from her bulwark stance, which is, I think it's probably one of the best unblockables in the game because it has so much range, it covers so much, and it pretty much almost has zero invulnerabilities, especially when you're externaling someone. Her undodgeables are also really good too. Her innate mix-up of light into bash, or light into undodgeable, or light into unblockable, it's just ridiculous. No, she has so much pressure, she has so much tools, and she's probably one of the best heroes in the game, and probably one of the best well-designed heroes, if you can argue that, because she has almost every tool at her disposal, and so that kind of makes her a very strong pick in doing everything. You can play her in any way you want, but it makes her very overpowered compared to the rest of the heroes, especially when you compare it to like Shinobi or Orochi or something like that. But overall, you know, this hero, insane. If you want to win, if you want to destroy all your opponents and not use your brain, you can use your brain with this hero, but if you do, then you're gonna be absolutely destroying everybody. But if you don't use your brain, you're still gonna destroy people, and that's just a fact. All right, and don't even get me started on her feats. First feat gives a shield, takes like what, 10 HP away. So it's probably like 25, but like seriously, it's negligible because she has her second feat, which allows her to heal herself by going to bulwark stance. And personally, I think that's a little overpowered, because when it comes to team fights, that makes it incredibly overpowering, especially in a solo queue matchmaking. The only thing there's nothing you can do after that. Once she starts backing away and her teammates starts fighting you, everything that you've done to her is useless, and that's why it's such a huge waste of time fighting her. Okay, if you can't kill her quickly in a 1v1 setting, you shouldn't even bother fighting her. You have to fight her in a ganking situation, but even then, that's where BP also excels, because she can gank and anti-gank and team fight. And let's not forget BP's third feat, where it takes away all your shields, and BP can also use it preemptively when you're about to get revenge. And you can't, and when you pop revenge, you get no shields. You get no shields whatsoever. And it's just so sad. It's just so sad they haven't even nerfed it or gotten rid of it. I think that's one of the most unfun mechanics in the game. It's probably the most unfun feat in the game. I'd rather prefer corruption, because at least you can dodge roll. But with this, and you're in a 1v2 situation, no, you're dead. No, revenge doesn't exist. Revenge has gone to Brazil. Alright, my boy Centurion, the Roman and Greek Revolution. I'm gonna put him in A tier. Really, really strong pick. Honestly, I might even put him on S. You know, I think I'm gonna put him on S tier for sure, because he has so much ganking and anti-ganking capabilities. His power level with Haymaker, with a wall, it just makes him top tier for insane amounts of damage and ganking utilities. Unpunishable bash when it comes to trying to guard break him, because he can just kick into heavy, charged heavy into guard break. Just so much utility, man. The rework that they gave him made him insanely powerful, which is great, because honestly, I liked old Centurion better though. That's a hot take. I'd rather play the old Centurion than this one, because I liked his moveset a lot more, and he felt more powerful. His attacks had more weight to it, but I know that he's much more viable in this sense, and I know people like him right now. But of course, let's just go over his feats. Really good. Pugyo, insane. Haymaker, insane. Bounty Hunter's pretty good too, and his fourth feat. They're all pretty solid. Stalwart, Banner, decent, and his shield one is also pretty good too. Catapult, obviously, it's Catapult. Overall, Centurion, one of the greatest picks out there if you want to have some style and punch people to death for days and days and days and days. And I mean, with his variable timed heavies and his neutral openers and his chain bash mix-up, my gosh, this guy is really scary to fight. He's got it all. Unblockables, good option selects. Knight heroes, man. Alright, now we move on to PK. I'm gonna put her on D tier. She's trash. Just throw her away. She contributes nothing to team fights whatsoever. Her feats are also kind of ass. She doesn't have anything going for her. She's not really a unique hero at all, you know? She has some soft feints here and there. Cool looking deflect. Some soft feint guard breaks. Soft feint top light. But once someone externals you, there's nothing PK can do. All she can do is feed revenge and guard break spam. Her anti-gang capabilities are non-existent, just roll away from her. She's useless. Throw her away. She needs a rework, and she's getting a rework too, so it's gonna make her very top tier when she does get the rework. But right now in year 4, season 4, she's trash tier, so don't pick her unless you like being a masochist like myself. Oh, the 1 damage impale master. Okay, let's see here. Lawbringer. I know a lot of people are probably gonna put him in D tier because he's so damn boring, but realistically, you know, he's still a solid pick with his good parry punish values. I'm gonna put him in B tier. He's not gonna be better than A tier because I don't think he's like a super strong pick for like a solo queue matchmaking because he has decent damage and good unblockables, but getting into them can be a little bit tough at times. Good externals. Zone attack is really, really good because he can just external you, clear mid lane all day. He's one of the best mid laners in the game. I mean, his side bash is still pretty good. He doesn't have hyper armor anymore, but you can still do a lot with it because it can negate a lot of mix-ups. Of course, we're going to go into Bomberger territory. His feats, obviously, they're really good. Just bomb mid lane, bomb your teammates, bomb your opponents. He is quite boring, but I wish he'd get a proper rework. But it's Ubisoft we're talking about. Still going to put him mid B tier though. And everyone's favorite Gucci flops, Aramusha. You know, me personally in my heart, I would put Aramusha D tier because he's freaking fighting underwater. That's why I made him blue right here. But I think realistically, he is probably around C tier. He could be B tier, but I don't think he's better than any of these heroes. If he goes against these matchups, he's going to lose 9 times out of 10. So I'm going to put him C tier. His slow as heavies aren't really good anymore. They do have pretty good range, but paired with the fast speeds on his beforehand, that's what made him strong for good externals. But now it's so slow that you can pretty much see it coming a mile away. Deadly feints are pretty fast, but if you just spam those, people can just external you and you're pretty much useless. Your zone is good, but you have to use the zone, and the first attack is a heavy attack, and therefore quite useless indeed. So Aramusha, he has a good blockade for like external heavies, which is pretty cool and useful at times, but it's just so easily baited that you probably shouldn't be using it as much. Now you can do pretty well with him in a solo queue matchmaking. Usually when I'm playing him, I can do pretty well. I'm always on like near top or top of the scoreboard on most games with Aramusha, just because most people don't play Aramusha and they don't expect the underdog kicking some ass, and his blockades are really unexpected too once you get used to it. Good chains, infinite chains, he's really good for anti-ganking as well to an extent. And overall, you know, he's an okay pick and he can do clutch moments, but he definitely needs a huge rework because they keep nerfing every hero to the ground that are not knights. Just kidding. Not really. And would you looky here, Nobushi. Okay, Nobushi. This hero, you know, Nobushi, she's actually a really solid pick. I think I'm gonna put her in B tier. She's not as good as she once was, but she has decent like ganking capabilities. Because if someone guard breaks, you can do like a follow-up light attack for pretty much bleed damage, which is pretty good. That's guaranteed damage right there. She can hidden stance, good defensive utility, good externals with her sidewinders. Great minion clear, yeah, like I said, she's an okay pick. She has solid damage. Her hidden stance is what makes her really good in Dominion, and just being a good team fighter overall. Contributing for team fights is really important. I would say that her kick is pretty solid too, but when it comes to like 1v2 situations, she's gonna suffer a little bit because she doesn't have that much going for her. But other than that, if they gave her unblockables instead of undodgeables like in her rework, she would be a lot stronger. I don't know why they don't just give her unblockables, because they gave Warden him unblockables, and his side heavies have a lot of tracking, so it doesn't really matter if you have undodgeables because people can still block it. But anyways, I digress. Nobushi's still a solid pick for Dominion fast lights when it comes to hidden stance lights and chain pressure, especially in Dominion, but she's okay, you know, just no boob. She's in B for boob, no boobs. Alright, Orochi, I love this hero, one of my favorite heroes to play, and you know, since he got that unblockable, honestly, he's really not that bad. His lights are still, you know, his lights, but the unblockable really helps him out in the territory of doing well by creating external pressure and creating OOS pressure. And so with that, I want to put him in B tier just because he does have his Storm Rush, which is unreactable to an extent. You can external that, but then he's able to get into his chain for the unblockable pressure, and that's when you have to react. When it comes to solo queue and clutching out moments, you need that unblockable so you can force a reaction, force someone to parry, and then you can go for your guard break or just let it fly for some maximum damage. So Orochi, I think he definitely got better when it comes to 4v4. His feats are still pretty decent too. Kunai to finish people off. Bounty Hunter's decent as well. And his dodge, which gives him a little bit more damage once you dodge. And then Fear itself, Arrow Storm, you know, all that good stuff. And the bomb is okay. I wouldn't say it's like super good with all the healing that's going around so far, but the bomb is good. Overall, Orochi's still a solid pick. I usually do pretty well with him. And I think a lot of people underestimate this hero a lot ever since he got his unblockable. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, put Shinobi. I'm gonna put in C tier. I think he's a lot more useful than PK by like miles, I would say. Because he's like the best harasser in the game. Beforehand, I would definitely have put him in A tier before they didn't like nerf his ass. He was like the most annoying hero in the game and one of the most strongest just because of his high damage values. But right now, and his hyper armor, super armor, but now he doesn't have any of that. And so all you can do is like the ranged attacks and ranged guard breaks. The range attacks are 20 damage, very low, and the range guard breaks feed revenge, but when they do catch someone, it's pretty detrimental to the opponent, and so Shinobi can be good in that aspect. But if you're going to play him, you can't anti-gank consistently with him. Team fights, you're useful to an extent, but honestly, I think you'd rather have like a BP, Centurion, Warmonger, Gryphon, or a Conqueror there than Shinobi throwing ranged heavies, because your teammate's gonna get hit and smacked by a lot of attacks. So Shinobi, he's in the trash can. He needs to be reworked entirely. Throw away his commas or give him like light chain combos from different sides, 3-hit chains, heavies into lights or something like that. Just fix him, man. Fix him, okay? Don't revert him because he's super toxic to play against. Okay, he's one of the before he was the worst hero to play against in my opinion. I'd rather fight a BP than Shinobi. Okay, that's just facts. Spitting off facts. Hot take. All right, let me know your thoughts down below. C tier for sure. Farum. I mean, creative. Welcome back. This is creative. Kensei, my guy, Kensei. You know, I think I'm gonna put it in S tier. He's one of the best heroes to play, especially when you're trying to anti-gank, when you're doing some team fights. His zone attack, his range, his peel ability, his smoke bomb, second feats. You know, his feats are pretty decent. You know, smoke bomb's OP. But he's one of the best team fighters out there. He's one of the most balanced heroes when it comes to team fights, 1v1 scenarios, and just I think one of the cleanest reworks in the game out there, because his soft feints enable him to do so much. Nothing that's too oppressive, and he's just a really cool hero to fight against. I never feel cheated when I'm fighting this hero, no matter what hero I'm using. Whenever I fight a Kensei and it's a good Kensei, it's always a damn good fight. And I take my losses as it is, you know. You gotta take it up there. But Kensei, soft feints, zone attacks, good option selects, unblockables into soft feints. He's got it all, you know. Dodge attacks that make him fly away from miles and miles. Yeah, overall, he's one of the best picks. Pick him if you're new to the game because he's one of the best heroes to learn. So yeah, Kensei, great hero. All right, everybody's favorite ASMR whisperer, Hitokiri. She's a pretty good hero, honestly. I think I'm gonna put her in B tier, I believe. You know, she's pretty good. She offers a lot. Nope, I'm gonna put her in A tier for sure. Because that unblockable spam, especially in a ganking situation, is probably the most annoying thing, and it's very effective. Very, very effective. Messes up your timing, sends unblockable symbols, and the damage is very high as well. She does have a kick 50-50 innate in her chain attacks, which makes her very strong for 1v1 settings, trying to finish someone off, or even externaling some dude. Her kick's gonna do tons of damage, and her guard break's gonna do a lot of damage as well. She has good option select, variable timed heavies, and my god, she's got it all. She got the whole package. The only thing she doesn't have is a neutral bash, but other than that, she's a great team fighter. Good feats overall, very good feats. Lets you execute somebody or gets fast recovery on your stamina. One hit kill, which is okay, but healing on block, very strong pick. And Hitokiri, you know, if you like ASMR whispering, pick this hero. All right, light on red. I'm gonna put him in A tier right now, especially with his hyper armor lights. He's still gonna be a very good pick, and his ability to anti-gank and external spam unblockable when it comes to ganking in situations like that. He's gonna be very powerful for setting up ganks, and his hug guarantees him health back and gains all of his stamina back for more pressure. You know, if any hero like Hitokiri can spam unblockables to make you throw a heavy attack or go for a parry attempt and mess up your timings and give you indicators, then they're going to be a good hero. But for ganking capabilities, and that's going to put him higher in the tier list. That's why Shugoki has it, because he also has a soft feint into a hug, which will enable his teammate to land a heavy on you. So he's a really good hero, especially for external heavies as well, which does a huge amount of chip damage if you pick the right feats. Great staller. He has a lot of good feats. Second feat where he doesn't get knocked down, which is rock steady. Third feat, bow, fast as heck, does so much damage, 50 I believe. And his fourth feat is, I would say it's pretty good in solo queue matchmaking. A lot of people just get hit externally, and that's when you're going to take the most damage from Shugoki and his teammates. And so overall, you can roll for him, but I would say most people don't roll from Shugoki, especially in a team fight setting. If you roll away, that means you're basically leaving your teammate to die with Shugoki's hug and the unblockable. And so he exudes a lot of pressure in team fights, and so when you're fighting him, you got to be very careful if he's going to external you and if your teammate's going to get smacked and bonked. And so the hero is still pretty good as long as most heroes don't roll, but if you roll, then your teammate's going to die. So overall, a good hero right now until he gets his light nerf and his hug nerf, which means he's gonna have no hyper armor on those. And I know that a lot of people think that he doesn't deserve the nerf on the hug, and I think they're right, because there would be no point in that, because option selects would beat him outright. So hopefully they do address that in his coming rework, which will be next year. And here we have Raider. Now Raider, he is gotten many changes over the past years, but I think in a 4v4 setting, I think he's going to be A tier or at least high B tier. But I think for sure he's one of the best team fighters out there, especially when you're just new to the game. If you're new to the game, make sure you pick up Raider. He's one of the best heroes to play. His Stampede charge is really good for team fights and a good initiator to break up fights as well. His enhanced zone is very powerful for offensive external pressure. His side heavies also have tons of range and hyper armor to trade with people and deal chip damage, or just deal out insane amounts of damage. You know, Raider's still good. He's good dodge attack, zone properties that will freaking blow your mind. No option select, by the way. It makes him really bad. I don't know why he doesn't have an option select yet, but I digress. Good unblockables, like I said. He's a solid pick, just like Kensei. Good mid clear and a good team fighter. Pretty good anti-ganking capabilities as well due to his zone attack, which does create a reaction, but not much to say about Raider. Good pick if you like him. Fashion, kind of sucky. Oh boys, ooh mama. Warlord, you son of a gun. Man, I hate fighting this hero, especially on freaking the C point in Sanctuary or whatever. I forgot what the map is called. I hate it so much. Anyways, this guy reigns supreme in that map just because of one thing: Stampede charge. You know, it's probably one of the most, it's one of the most strongest moves out there in the game, no doubt. And also one of the most annoying. I don't know why they haven't fixed it yet, but I digress. This hero, unreactable headbutts, one of the best heroes in the game, one of the best duelists in the game, and a damn tough hero to beat in a 4v4 setting. Good anti-ganking capabilities and team fighting capabilities as well. He can lead you with no effort at all, and it's unpunishable as well. Keep that in mind. And so not much to say about Warlord, except, you know, full block is insane, good for externals, hyper armor heavy, solid damage, one of the best heroes in the game, and that's all there is to it, baby. All right, everyone's favorite Unga Bunga, heavy light spammer, all that good stuff. Berserker. You know, this hero, honestly, since he got his heavy nerf, I've noticed him not being as good anymore. He's still a great hero, but like his ability to trade a little bit faster consistently has been decreased significantly, with his chain heavy being a lot slower, and that kind of sucks. I don't know why they nerfed that aspect. Nobody was really complaining about that. I think the only thing that complained about Berserker was that he's just you know, heavy into light attack, heavy into light hyper armor light hero. You know, he's just like Aramusha, except Aramusha didn't have any hyper armor and Berserker did. But they nerfed both those heroes in the speed category for some reason. I would love to know their ideal process and their thought process and why they decided to do that. However, I still think he's gonna be a solid pick because he's a good duelist. He's a good 4v4 team fighter as well. Good KK capabilities, good feats as well. Fire Flask, Axe. He can build them in different ways. Actually, he's got actually no, he can't, because they took away the second feat that build revenge. So he's still a strong pick overall. A good duelist, unreactable lights that you can't parry unless you make a good read, and hyper armor for day to trade, and a good dodge attack that travels around the world to do externals. So if you're really good with him, you're gonna capitalize a lot on your opponent's mistakes, especially in a team fight setting. And so I'm gonna put Berserker on A. I think he's a really high skill curve hero. If you're going to do well with him, then you got to play to his strengths. Ever since the CCU update, Valkyrie has become increasingly a lot more stronger. I've noticed that I've had more trouble fighting this hero because of she honestly has a lot of utility up her sleeve. She has crushing counters, which make her a very strong hero when it comes to being offensive and defensive at the same time. Her full block is pretty solid too for resetting the fight. She has a bash, and I can barely react to it now, so I would consider unreactable. And her feats are really good too. I think I'm gonna put her. I think I might put her in like B tier or A tier, like high B tier for sure, because her feats are really good. She has Fire Flash, she has Javelin, she has Bloodlust, makes her really strong. She has Heavy and a Bash. Her mix-up is unreactable now. Fast Lights, Sweep for good team fight capabilities to an extent. Wide-ranging heavies. You know, Valkyrie's, she's a strong pick now. Before, she wasn't as good because she was reactable, but now that she's unreactable, she's very scary to fight, and I think a lot of people have been noticing that, and I've been seeing a lot more Valkyries out there. So if you want a Viking hero that's cool, classy, and has thick thighs to crush your head, pick Valkyrie, man. Alright, Highlander, my boy, my light spammer boy, my gosh. Now, this hero, oh my gosh, his animations suck ball sacks, his lights... But, you know, Highlander's he's still a strong hero. His offensive stance gives him a lot of utility. He can dodge attacks all day. He has unblockables from neutral. His kick to caber can be useful in a 1v1 setting. As I said before, most people don't roll away, and if they do, then that pretty much means you just have to go for trades and light spam away. However, I think his kick to caber can be very good when it comes to like a team fight setting, and so initiating that is very strong. He's still the same old, so he's a very strong pick. Once you get used to him, this hero can be very hard to use when you get started, but if you learn to master him, he can pull out a lot of good tricks up his sleeve. Moving on to Shaman, this hero is going to be a solid pick for you guys that do like the biting process. This hero can be very good in team fights if your teammates don't mess up your bites. Good for team fights, anti-ganking as well, because she does have a unblockable chain finisher, which is very, very strong. She has soft feint bleeds, which are unreactable, which is awesome. She has a lunge that can catch runners. My gosh, this hero has pretty much everything when it comes to the assassin category. The only thing that she lacks is like an undodgeable, but she doesn't really need that. And she does have a neutral opener, but it can be a little bit slow initiating the bash. She can't flicker anymore, however, it's still a viable opener when it comes to initiating pressure to other heroes, whether it be externally or just in 1v1 setting. Jormungandr, this guy he's a really annoying hero to fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I might even put him. I think I'm gonna put him in A tier because this hero is a pain in the ass to deal with. His feats alone make him a very strong hero to fight, and his ability to stay alive is unparalleled to every single hero in here. I think he even has a better survival rate than BP just because of his tier 2, which gives him health. It gives him a shield, and his tier 3, which gives him damage reduction. So he's a really strong pick once you get used to him. His bash into light into bash is pretty decent too. He does have light into unblockable chain mix-ups right away, and that's what makes him very strong in that aspect. I think he can be a very boring hero to play, but that can be subjective because Jorm is smashing nuts all day. You know, he's got good feats, and he's got good pressure. Also, external pressure is okay, but he can also chase opponents down too with his forward top heavy. So if you guys have had like moments where you're trying to kill one Warmonger and he's getting revenge and popping it and then making people go out of stamina, smashing nuts, and then he gets all of his shields back like that, that is fun. He's a great staller, and that's why I want to put him in A tier, especially in a solo carrying setup where people don't know how to properly gank, and you're always going to get revenge at least a couple times. Then he's going to be a strong hero. All right, everybody, we're almost done here. We only got the Warden left, and Tiandi, I'm gonna put him in. I want to put him in a high A tier for sure, just because of his feats. He pretty much gets like 2 extra lives. He can heal when he attacks. He can get half shields, just like Jormungandr. So he's very an annoying hero to fight against, that's for sure. His iframes on his dodges are really good for externally dodging and just avoiding mix-ups altogether. Unreactable light attacks, palm strike opener into decent damages. Overall, he's just a good hero with a good team fight capabilities with his kick. and just avoiding damage and staying alive for his teammates, and good option select here and there. And you know, Tiandi is just a solid hero, just solid hero. And JJ, my big man, I'm gonna put him, I might even put him on S tier, but I might put him on A tier too. But I think I'm gonna put him on S tier more so because he has a lot of utility when it comes to parry punishes. If he parries someone, he does get a unblockable zone. His choke does a ton of damage. It does go for wall splats as well, deals so much damage. He has a lot of good external damage when it comes to his side heavies. Very strong pick when it comes to defensive utilities and anti-ganking and team fights as well. Because when you know how to use this hero, he can be very devastating. He's got good damages, unblockable on 2 chain attacks. And don't forget, Sifu Stance is a very powerful move where you regain your stamina and also have iframes when you dodge. And so that alone, gaining stamina back at a tremendous speed, makes him very strong when it comes to team fights and just 1v1 situations, because stamina is key in this game. And that's pretty much why I'm going to put JJ on S tier. He's a great team fighter. He's a good anti-ganker as well. He can stall, and he has good defensive utilities with his iframe dodges. Oh, everyone's favorite trap. I honestly don't know where to put Nuxia. I thought about it a lot, long and hard. She's definitely not the worst hero. PK is the worst, but I feel like she's better than Aramusha and Shinobi. I think I'm gonna put her in like D tier maybe, but like her feats are really good though, because she has her traps that can be put on mid lane or just in a team fight setting. It does a lot of damage. She has a lot more utility with her feats. And when it comes to her traps, a lot of people don't know how to fight against it. And even if you like change guards or whatever and she lets a happy fly, it's kind of hard to read. I've always had issue fighting against Nuxia. I think I'm gonna put her in B tier just because her feats are so good. I feel like I can't react to them well enough, and so I'm gonna put her in B tier. Her zone is hilarious. The damage is pretty good. It used to be 45, but now I think it's a lot lower now. But I think I'm gonna put her in B tier. She has a good light spammer. Nuxia's weird. I don't know what to do with this hero. I think I'm putting her in B tier because she's an underdog essentially, and she can pretty much grape you if she decides to. Moving on to Shaolin. Shaolin has pretty good team fights. I'm gonna put him in B tier. He has good feats when it comes to using his chi stance. He can give his teammates health, which is awesome. He has teleport, a good team fighter, and a rescuer supporter. That's awesome. I love that move. He has his kick, which guarantees I think about 15 or 20 damage now, so that's pretty cool. Bounty Hunter stealth is also a really good feat. I'm gonna put him in B tier for sure. And his chi stance is really awesome to use. It feels fair and balanced to fight against. Good for externals and giving your opponents a hard time on what you want to do with those crushing counters as well. And Zhanhu, I'm gonna put Zhanhu. Where do I want to put Zhanhu? Who do I want to put him? I feel like he's better than all these heroes down here when it comes to the team fight settings. He has good external pressure when it comes to undodgeables, because you have to take that chip damage. And his heavy has very wide range, so it does force a reaction. So I think I'm gonna put him in A tier, just because of all the light spam that he can utilize. His dodge attacks are unreactable, and they're very fast in a 1v1 setting. It doesn't have any iframes, but it is really fast still, and it has a lot of mix-up potential. You can kind of just like do a dodge and then go for a guard break, because if someone wants to go for the parry like myself, or go for a blockade or deflect, I might go for it, and you can just guard break me. And so that's why I'm gonna put Zhanhu there. He's got a lot of good team fights. His feats are kind of ass, I'm not gonna lie. They're really bad, but his team fight capabilities are so damn good that I'm gonna put him in A tier, because he can just unlock the mid lane, unlock you while fighting, and then go fight the mid lane at the same time. And it's this weird tech that's super annoying. So I'm gonna put Zhanhu in A, because he has a lot of good team fight capabilities, and he's also really good as an anti-ganker as well. So that's pretty much it. That's gonna be the tier list. What do you guys think of it right now? I'm looking over it right now, and I think as the year has gone by, we've learned to adapt to most of these heroes. And a lot of the heroes, they're still really bad. Like all these heroes down here, everything under B tier, like you can obviously use them well, but they're gonna be a lot harder to use against S and the A tiers, right? If I could put a space in between here from S, A to B, I would put like S, A, C, D, E tier, right? Because these heroes right here, they definitely need like some sort of rework, right? Lawbringer needs a rework. Nobushi needs a rework, and she is getting one. Orochi, I feel like he needs a rework too, because he's kind of boring. Highlander, I feel like he needs help, especially when his animations. He needs something, just a little bit of something. I don't know what it is. And Nuxia, she's weird. She's a tough hero when someone knows how to use against her. Shaolin, I think overall, we need to fix Reflex Guard. Take away Reflex Guard, give everyone Static Guard, because this game is not about reflex anymore, right? It's about reflexes to an extent. But when it comes to the mind games and the fighting process of this, the art of war is going to be about reads, right? Okay, I'm going to dodge because that guy, Gryphon's going to do a kick. Oh, wait. No, it's unblockable. I should have just stood there and parried the unblockable. Oh, wait. Gryphon also has a heavy that he can let fly. If I dodge that, I'll get hit in the face. Oh, wait. I thought it was an undodgeable. I guess I'll just block and not go for the parry and take chip damage. And then he'll have frame advantage and go for a bash or do another light attack and just things like that, you know? Frame advantage is important in this game now. And I think we need to get rid of Reflex Guard altogether, because anytime Gryphon lets a heavy fly and you're an assassin, you're going to take the heavy to the face no matter what. And I think they need to fix that, address that. And once Shaolin, Orochi, Shaman, and all the other assassin heroes get their Reflex Guard removed, I think they'd be a lot stronger. And you'd have to not underestimate them as much anymore. And I think that increase the skill curve and lower and increase the skill floor as well for these heroes. And so you guys don't have to let me know what you guys think. If you guys agree with me, if you guys disagree, let me know down in the comments. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of debates on all these heroes. But as you can see, most of the knights are on top, of course. But there are more versatile heroes when it comes to other heroes as well. And I think a lot of people are talking about like the knight bias and things like that. And to an extent, I do agree that there's a knight bias. And I think Ubisoft doesn't know how to balance heroes when it comes to faction-based balance. And I think their philosophy on doing faction-based balance is wrong. I think every hero should have an unblockable. They should have a neutral opener of sorts. They should have ways to deal damage and have at least one defensive capability like BP with his bulwark stance. Everyone has a full block. Warlord, any hero that has a full block is considered good. That can negate damage in some sort of mix-up. Besides Aramusha. Actually, Aramusha can be pretty good. But like a full block just makes a hero strong defensively. And having a bash also makes a hero strong defensively, because they can use that as a defensive measure and also as an offensive measure. And so Ubisoft needs to give heroes that don't have openers, or a reliable way to get into their openers by giving them enhanced lights. But I don't know, I'm just some guy, just a lonely old soul talking about his favorite game. But let me know your thoughts down below. I read all the comments, guys. 69k face reveal. Go check out the Cyberpunk video that I just made yesterday. Nobody watches it. Nobody gets notified of my videos that is not For Honor, so I would greatly appreciate it if you guys check that out. Would mean a lot, because I'm also trying to get away from For Honor at the same time, become more of a variety channel, but it's kind of hard. And honestly, it is hard because of the algorithm. Kicks my ass. Even though a lot of people keep telling me, oh, your content is so good, it's so funny, you do so much editing and stuff like that. And I do, and I really do. But all of it is for naught, because YouTube has labeled me as a For Honor player, and that's just unfortunate. And I love the comments that are like, I'm gonna report you for your thumbnails. And you know, most of us don't like your thumbnails, but the thing is, a lot of people do. I've been getting more subscribers because of it, and the viewership is a lot higher too. And so that can only mean one thing. It's not that For Honor is more fun to watch. In fact, For Honor viewership has decreased significantly. If you take a look at any other For Honor YouTuber, most of the For Honor YouTubers view count is low and not what it used to be. And so I had to up the ante, change up the editing style, make it more fun and entertaining, and not make it so skill based and competitive. And then the viewers came back because, you know, just poking fun at the game and having a good time. And I want to poke fun at other games and have a good time with you guys and hang out. But like I said, thumbnails are funny. It's hilarious. I think it takes courage and bravery to do so. Let me know your thoughts down below on that. Haters gonna hate, and I understand, because a lot of people, they watch in front of their families or something like that, and the thumbnail can be provocative. But you know, it's kind of the only way I can stay sane. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of the only way I can stay sane. But no, oh my god, this video is so long, guys. Okay, I don't want to get to an hour, but thank you so much for watching, guys. If you guys did enjoy it, like the video, comment, share it, And hope you guys learned something. If I missed anything, let me know down below in the comments. But that being said, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Take care, and let's schedule some therapy time in the next one.